Your Toyota's transmission fluid is supposed to last a lifetime. That's what the dealer told you. That's what it says in the brochure. And it's the lie that's quietly destroying transmissions all over the country. Here's the truth nobody at the service desk wants to explain. Lifetime fluid does not mean what you think it means. And if you change it the wrong way or at the wrong mileage, you can take a transmission that was running perfectly and turn it into a $4,000 paperweight in a single afternoon. So before you book that service or let anyone near your Toyota with a flush machine, you need to know 3 things. Which Toyotas this actually applies to. The one type of fluid change that quietly kills high-mileage transmissions. And the question every owner past 100,000 miles is terrified to ask, is it already too late for mine? I'm going to answer all 3. No fear-mongering, no filler. Let's start with the lie. First, one promise, because I know the comments are full of this complaint. For everything I tell you today, I'll name the transmissions and the model years it applies to. A blanket change your fluid video that ignores whether you've got a sealed automatic, a CVT, or an old truck with a dipstick is worthless. And it's exactly how people end up doing the wrong thing to the wrong car. Here's the core of it. When Toyota, and nearly every manufacturer, calls a transmission fill for life or sealed for life, they are not promising the fluid lasts as long as the car. Life means the design life they're willing to warranty. And automatic transmission fluid has one job above all others. It manages heat. The hotter it runs, the faster it breaks down. Tow a trailer, sit in July traffic, climb a grade fully loaded, that fluid is cooking, lifetime sticker or not. So the fluid degrades. That part's simple. The part that can actually cost you a transmission is what you do about it, and when. Because here's the cruel twist. The owner who ignores it for 180,000 miles and the owner who marches in and demands a full flush at 180,000 miles see same dead transmission. That's the trap we're walking through. Which Toyota's the right method, the wrong method, the real intervals, what it should cost, and how to tell if yours is already in trouble. Start with the most important question. Does any of this even apply to your Toyota? Because not all Toyota transmissions are the same animal, and the advice flips depending on what you've got. There are 3 families. 1, the traditional automatics. The ones Wix speeds in a lot of Camrys, RAV4s, and Highlanders from roughly 2007 up. The 8 speeds in newer ones. The 10-speed in the Tundra and the Tacoma. 2, the CVTs. The direct shift CVT in the Corolla Cross, the C-HR, those use a completely different fluid and different rules, and I'll handle them separate on. 3, the older trucks and SUVs, older Tacomas, 4Runners, Land Cruisers, many of which still have a dipstick you can actually check. Why does the family matter so much? Because most modern Toyota automatics, from about 2010 on, are sealed. There's no dipstick. There's no easy way for you to look at the fluid and see that it's gone dark and smells burnt. Toyota designed them to be left alone, which is great marketing and a real problem at 120,000 miles. The simple version, if your Toyota is newer and sealed, you fall squarely into the lifetime fluid myth. And you need this video most. If it's an older truck with sire, you can pull that stick, look at the color, and smell it. We'll cover both. Now you know which camp you're in. So here's where people destroy a perfectly good transmission with good intentions and the wrong machine. There are 2 completely different ways to change transmission fluid, and people use the words like they mean the same thing. They do not. One is safe. One can kill a high-mileage transmission on the spot. A drain and fill is gentle. You pull the drain plug, let out whatever's in the pan, usually around 1/3 to 40% of the total fluid, and refill the same amount with fresh. You're diluting old fluid with new. Nothing gets forced anywhere. A flush, a power flush, is aggressive. Emissions cooler lines and pushes new fluid through under pressure, shoving out nearly all the old fluid at once, often in the opposite direction the fluid normally flows. On a clean, well-maintained transmission, fine. On a neglected one with 150,000 miles of varnish and clutch material settled inside, that high pressure can break loose all that debris and ram it into tiny valve passages and solenoids. And here's the part that ruins lives in the on. that's been slipping a little on old worn fluid is sometimes being held together by the very gunk that's in there. Blast it all out with fresh, slippery fluid and a power flush. And those tired clutches, Ion was on its last legs. But the flush is what pushed it over the edge. Then everyone says, I changed my fluid and my transmission died. And the myth that you should never touch it gets stronger. So let me be crystal clear, because this is the single most important sentence in this video. The danger was never changing the fluid. The danger is doing a high-pressure flush on a high-mileage transmission that's never been serviced. A drain and fill almost never carries that risk, which lands us on the question I promised you, the one I see in the comments more than any other. Mine has 160,000 miles original fluid and it shifts fine. Is it too late? Will changing it kill it? This is the real fear, so let's handle it honestly. No scare tactics. No, just trust the dealer. Here's the framework I'd use. First, how does it shift right now? If your high-mileage Toyota is shifting clean, no shudder, no slipping, no flaring, the transmission is still healthy. The fluid's tired, but you haven't done damage yet. If it's already shuddering, banging into gear, or the revs flare up while the speed lags, the wear has happened, and no fluid change reverses worn clutches. Knowing which of those two you're in changes everything. Second, and write this down, if it's high dick, you do not walk in and order a power flush. You do a conservative drain and fill. You're refreshing roughly a third of the fluid, gently with zero pressure. The transmission barely notices, except now a third of what's in there is clean and full of fresh additives. Third, the move a lot of smart owners make, and you'll see it all over the comments on videos like this, is the staged drain and fill. You drain and fill once, drive it a few hundred miles, do it again, maybe a third time a few weeks later. Each pass swaps out another third, so after 3, you've replaced the large majority of the fluid without ever shocking the system the way one big flush would. One owner I read did exactly this. Bought the genuine fluid himself, had his mechanic do 3 drain and fills over 3 weeks, total cost around $360 versus $400 for a single dealer service. So is it too late? If it shifts fine, it is not too late. You just have to be gentle about it. If it's already slipping, fluid won't save it, and a flush me aggressive flush is the wrong tool. That's the answer to the scariest question. Next, how often should you actually be doing this before you're ever in the high mileage panic zone? Toyota's official answer for a lot of these is inspect with no set interval, which on a sealed transmission with no dipstick is a polite way of saying don't worry about it. Here's what experienced owners and independent techs actually do. The consensus number that comes up again and wear around 60,000 miles, then every 30 to 60,000 after that. If you're easy on the car, gentle commuting, no towing, mild climate, the longer end is fine. Every 60,000 and you'll never have a problem. But there's a second schedule Toyota buries in the manual, the severe service schedule, and almost everyone qualifies for it without realizing. Severe service means towing, hauling heavy loads, lots of stop-and-go traffic, mountains, extreme heat or cold. If you tow with a tunt in city traffic every day, if you live somewhere genuinely hot, you're severe service, and that means more like every 60,000 miles, period, not inspect. Towing especially. Heat is the number. One killer of transmission fluid, and nothing makes heat like dragging a trailer up a grade in summer. If that's you, and your truck doesn't have an auxiliary transmission cooler, changing the fluid more often is the cheapest insurance you will dollar part. So, roughly 60,000 for the first one, then 30 to 60 after, sooner if you tow or live in the heat. Now the part everyone actually wants, exactly H. Whether you do this yourself or hand it to a hot, have to be right. Number 1, and it's non-negotiable, the correct fluid. Toyota automatics use a specific fluid. Toyota calls most of it World Standard, or WS-ATF, and it is engineered for that transmission. This is not the place to save $8 on a generic works-for-all Toyotas or a fluid that genuinely meets the WS spec, OTA CVT Fluid FE. Different stuff entirely. Owners who keep their transmissions to 300,000 miles will all tell you the same thing. Only the correct fluid ever went in. Number 2, the filter and the pan. Many of these transmissions have an internal filter and a pan gasket. A basic drain and fill through the drain plug doesn't touch them. A proper deeper service drops the pan, replaces the filter and gasket, and cleans the magnets in the pan that catch metal shavings. You don't need to do that every time, but doing it once at higher mileage tells you a lot, because if those magnets are coated in heavy metal paste, that's your transmission warning you. Number 3, and this is the one that intimidates everyone on a sealed transmission. The fill level is set by temperature, not by a dipstick. You fill it, then bring the fluid up to a specific temperature window, often somewhere around 40 to 50 degrees Celsius, and crack the overflow plug to let the excess run out at exactly that temp. Too much or too little fluid both cause problems. That temperature procedure is the real reason a sealed transmission service costs what it does, and the real reason a lot of people leave it to a shop. So if you're doing it yourself, Genuine Flu you the temperature-filled procedure exactly, and consider the pan and filter at higher mileage. If you're handing it off, you now know exactly what to ask for, and how to tell if they actually know what they're doing. Now, CVT owners, I told you to hang on. Your turn. If you drive a Corolla Cross, a CCVT, almost everything changes, and getting this wrong is even more expensive because a CVT is even less forgiving than a geared automatic. A CVT has no gears. It runs on a steel belt or chain squeezing between two pulleys, and the fluid is what lets that belt grip without slipping. That fluid is doing a harder, hotter job than normal ATF, and it is absolutely not lifetime. Toyota's Direct Shift CVT is well built. It even has a real launch gear to take stress off the belt from a stop, but it still needs clean fluid to survive. The rules: use only Toyota CVT fluid FE, never regular ATF. The wrong fluid in a CVT can wreck it fast. Warm it up gently before you drive hard because CVT fluid warms slower than engine oil. Don't neutral coast, and if you ever flat tow it, follow the manual exactly. And on intervals, CVT owners should lean to the shorter end. Many run a drain and fill every 30 to 40,000 miles and report their CVT still feeling new at 160,000. Same is it too late logic applies, but TIG mileage is fragile, so gentle drain and fills only. The correct FE fluid, flush. A CVT that's already shuddering or whining is often telling you the belt or pulleys are worn, and fluid won't fix that. So that's your transmission and your fluid handled. Now let's talk money, because this is where the dealer plays games with you. Here's where the lifetime fluid myth makes the dealer money, so watch for these moves. Game 1. It's lifetime. We don't service that. You ask for a fluid change and they tell you the transmission is sealed for life and there's nothing to do. That's the marketing line protecting a future repair bill. Yours. A transmission rebuild is $3,000 to $5,000. A drain and fill is a tiny fraction of that. Do the math on who that policy actually benefits. Game 2. The forced power flush. This is the one to really watch. Owners report walking in for a simple drain and fill and being told the shop only does the full machine flush for $380, $450, even $500, and that they'd have to check if they even offer a drain and fill. Now you know why that matters. On a high mileage transmisservice is also the safer one. Don't let yourself get upsold into the riskier procedure. What it should actually cost. A drain and fill is generally in the low hundreds, depending on how much fluid your transmission holds, and the temperature fill and gasket costs more because there's more labor and parts. A power flush costs the most and is the one you often want least. If you buy genuine fluid yourself and have an independent mechanic do the drain and fill, you can come in well under the dealer's number, like that owner who did 3 passes for $360 total. Game 3. Changing it will void your warranty. Generally false. Servicing your transmission with the correct fluid does not void a powertrain warranty. There are consumer protection laws about exactly that. What can cause grief is using the wrong fluid. So keep your receipts and use the right spec, and you're covered. Next, how to read the warning signs before any of this becomes an emergency. Your transmission talks to you before it dies. Most people just don't speak the language. Here's what to listen and feel for. The big one on Toyotas. A shudder, a shaker-judder, almost like driving over rumble strips, usually at light throttle around 35 to 45 miles an hour. That's often the torque converter lockup shuddering on tired fluid, and it's a classic early warning that the fluid's additives are spent. Next, delayed or harsh engagement. You shift from park to drive or reverse, and there's a 1-second pause, then a clunk. Or your shifts, which used to be invisible, now thud. Then there's flaring. You press the gas and the RPM jumps up, but the speed doesn't follow right. Wheels lost sync for a moment. That's slipping, and it means real wear is starting. And if you're lucky enough to have one of that, pull it. Healthy fluid is pink to clean red and smells faintly sweet. If it's brown, dark, or smells burnt, like scorched toast, your fluid is cooked and it's overdue. Some owners even pull a small sample on the sealed ones and judge it the same way before deciding. If you catch a shudder and refresh the fluid early, you often fix it completely. If you ignore it until it's slipping hard, you're now shopping for a transmission. The difference between those two outcomes is often just paying attention for a few weeks. Last thing, how to keep the fluid from cooking in the first place. Because the best fluid change is the damage you prevent. A handful of habits do most of the killing, and most owners do at least one without knowing. Heat, again, is enemy number one. If you install an auxiliary transmission cooler, it's a modest one-time cost that drops your fluid temperature dramatically. And on a tow rig, it can add years to the transmission. Toyota's own tow packages add coolers for exactly this reason. Warm it up gently. On a cold start, SPCI with a CVT, give it a few easy miles before you demand hard acceleration. Cold fluid is thick and doesn't protect well yet. You don't idle in the driveway for 10 minutes. You just drive calmly for the first few minutes instead of flooring it onto the highway. Come to a complete stop before shifting between drive and reverse. No shifting while you're still rolling. That hammers the internals. Don't ride it hard up long grades fully loaded while it hunts for a ratio. On the geared automatics and CVTs alike, use manual mode to hold a lower gear and keep things settled. And never neutral coast to save gas. It doesn't save gas, and it starves the transmission of lubrication at speed. None of that costs real money. It's just knowing what the fluid is going through and driving like you do. Do these. Change the fluid on schedule with the right stuff and the right method, and your Toyota's transmission will outlast almost everything else on the car. So here's everything that Lie was hiding. Lifetime fluid means the life of the warranty, not the life of your car. The fluid degrades, but the thing that actually kills transmissions is a high-pressure flush on a neglected high-mileage unit, not a gentle drain and fill. So here's your move this week. Find out your transmission family and your mileage. If it shifts clean and it's never been done, book a drain and fill, not a flush, with genuine Toyota fluid, and plan to do it in a couple of stages. If it's already shuddering, get it looked at before you change anything. And if a service writer tells you it's sealed for life and there's nothing to do, you now know exactly what that sentence is protecting, and it isn't your transmission. I want to hear from you because it genuinely helps the next owner. Drop your Toyota's model, your mileage, and whether it's still on the original transmission fluid. Tell me if yours shifts perfectly at 200,000 or if it started shuddering at 90, because that's how everybody watching figures out where their own car really stands. Your Toyota was built to go the distance. Thung's standing between you and that million-mile reputation. So don't let a sticker on a transmission talk you out of protecting it.